Hey guys, I'm Silverwolf, and in this video I'm going to tell you how to make a plush from a plush. So you have a plush, you like the plush, you want to make your own version of it, and so I will tell you how to do this. You have to be prepared to waste a little bit of money buying a second-hand or cheap or discounted whatever plush in order to do this, because this is the simplest and easiest way of making something from something. I can make plushies visually, so I can look at a plush and say, okay, it needs these, and these pattern pieces, but it's not that simple, really. I have done that successfully before, but if you want accuracy, you need to ideally be able to take one apart to actually make your own. So I went onto eBay, I found one of these bunnies because I like the design of it, and I bought it. It was cheap and well loved. It was pretty raggedy, to be fair. But if I'm just going to be picking it apart to make to take the pattern pieces out, then I didn't want anything that was perfect. So you get your plush, and I didn't use this one. This was the visual reference that I used for making my own. You get a very small pair of scissors and you snip very, very carefully through. You've got to sort of like pull it apart a bit. The fur, you snip very carefully and snip the seams, and you see you've got to find the thread that was used to sew the seams together. What I did with mine was I took the head off first, and then I very carefully dissected the body and the head to make my own pattern from it. So this is what I ended up with: a load of pattern pieces. That's, you know, that was its head, that was its bottom. Teeny thing here is its tail, and as you're you sort of have it turned inside out, and as you're working from it, try to get a Sharpie and try to sort of write down notes on these pieces that you're cutting off from this. So this is the original one. It was white or cream, and as I went around I was making notes on the pattern pieces, where its foot goes, where its arm goes, the belly part, which would be the front seam of its belly, so that would sort of fit like that up the plush. And then when I made the cardboard version of it, it had all those notes, so I drew around it onto card and basically wrote the notes onto the card. You've got to sort of, because it's been sewn together, and it's obviously been sewn together and kept like that for a long time, you've got to kind of like press it very gently. Try not to stretch it or anything, because then it won't be accurate to the size. But you've got to sort of like press it very gently so that you get all of this flat, so that you can draw around it. Because as you can see, it looks like that. So that's not particularly very helpful. You've got to try and sort of very gently press it like flat and draw around it like that. It also has these little notches here. You can sort of see it there. I transferred as many of those as I could to the actual pattern that I did. You can see them there. These are just basically to help you line it up correctly when you sew it together. So that's why the original person who did the pattern put those in. And you can see that's where its arm went, that's where its foot went, and it's got like a little dart in there, which is a part that's sewn in to sort of make shape, to shape it right by the foot. So that's an example of the pattern. So I did this with everything. The other one here was this one. This is the back of it. You can see that's the middle of its spine going up there. And again, I put where the arm and tail went, and then transferred them to the pattern when I had drawn it. So just basically try and get it as accurate as you can to the shape that you're doing for the toy, and draw it in pencil first. You can write down the bits and pieces on it in pen, and also the nap, which is which way the fur goes. I had it going down the body like that, which is the normal way that it should go. So I put nap on each piece. I also, because I'm going to be doing two of these, one of them is mirrored, I also put in roughly where the tail and arm go as well. on the back, so it's mirrored. So when I drew these pattern pieces out on the Minky that I was using for the prototype, I could transfer this over so that you know roughly where your arm and tail are going. And also it's helpful for when you're sewing it together. So I had never actually obviously sewn one of these, so I didn't really know. I know how to put a plush together, but all the patterns are different, so I didn't really know exactly which part went where in some ways. So the only snag that I really hit with all of this was this is a head gusset. And the head gusset, so if you're going to be drawing the pattern piece and you're not really sure, always put B and F back and front, so it goes like this over the rabbit's head and down to the back of the neck. And what I did with this that was a mistake is I stitched the nose onto the end of this bit, which is fine, that's where it belongs, but I did the sides of the head too far forward, so the nose looked like it was flopping off the end of its face. So I need to actually write on this pattern piece that when you sew them together to line up the backs of this and either side of the head and then stitch from the back to the front, that will be an accurate way of doing it, because I had put this too far forward, and like I said, the head shape was absolutely abysmal. It was not very good at all. These bits here are roughly where the ears will be, so it kind of again helps you understand where, when that's over the top of the rabbit's head, where the ears will be, which is down here. Another thing, when you're making the patterns, you have the eyes here. When you do this on your pattern piece, poke a hole through it, so then you can use a Sharpie when you're drawing the pattern pieces on the material just to mark out where the eye is, and then you can sort of like get the placement of them in the correct place. You can see the ear goes there, so the head gusset will go there like that. But what I was having the issue with was I was starting the head gusset right down there instead of sewing from the back to the front, and yeah, its nose was right down here, and that was really the only snag that I kind of like hit in reconstructing this myself. So it wasn't too bad. It was very frustrating though, because at the time I was busy with other stuff. I wanted to get it done because I had a pool, an open night pool thing to go to, and I wanted to get it done before I left. So it was a bit of a rush. But anyway, so someone's got some fluff on its face there. Using this one as a visual reference, I created my own. Now, he doesn't look quite as good because the fur isn't the same. I used Minky because it was just a prototype. So when you make your prototype plush, you basically use scraps of material that you're not going to use for anything else, because it could be hit or miss, and it's just a test. I'm going to keep him. Obviously, I quite like him, and he was the first. So I am going to make my own version of this, but I need better fur than just what I was using. So the only real issue I have with my own plush that I made, because of course when you do the prototype you can actually see where next time you need to sort of like do it better, and the issue that I have with mine is that the eyes, in my opinion, are slightly too close to the nose. As you can see, they are slightly further away from the nose on the other one. His nose is also a little large, but I think if I had the longer fur it wouldn't really show. But you can see the nose on my one is a little bit big. But that's pretty much how you make a plush from a plush. Like I said, you do have to sacrifice a plush to do it, which is kind of sad, really. But if it's only a cheapo plush that you want to do, it doesn't matter. Of course, I chose not to do a cheap plush, did I? I chose to do one of these, and they retail at about £30 and upwards. One of this size is £30. So, but no, I've always liked the design of the bunnies with their floppy ears and stuff, and I thought, oh, hey, I'd like to make my own of that. So that's what I did. But it works for any plush. Like I said, you've got to be prepared to buy a plush and sacrifice it. But sit him forward a bit. He looks a bit better sat forward. Yeah, it works. I did buy a pattern like this from someone on Etsy, because they used one of these rabbits. I'm not going to say what it's called because everyone knows what it's called. It was one of these rabbits, and they used that, and it lures you into a sort of false sense of security. Oh yeah, if I get that, it'll be the pattern for that, and I can make my own one. No, it wasn't. The pattern was different, and it was rubbish. in all honesty, and I didn't give them a very good review because it was false advertising. Because for one thing, you've got to be careful with doing this. So if you want to make your own plush for fun, that's fine. If you want to make your own plush using someone else's pattern, and they haven't given you permission to use the pattern. So this is a commercial plush that I copied. I do not have permission to use the pattern. It is just for my own fun. Yeah, it's for my personal collection. So I'm not going to be selling it or doing anything with it. It's just for me. And that's fine. If you do it just for you, that's fine. And if the person's given you permission to use their pattern to sell, that's fine. A lot of artists on Etsy do that. But be careful, because if you take a commercial pattern and it looks clearly like what you've done, then yeah, they might not be happy with you selling it. What was the point I was trying to make? I can't remember what the point was I was trying to make. Yeah, that was it. So what this person, and this made no sense to me, and this is just, I'm rambling now, but the person put on Etsy a photograph of one of these, only they'd put like their own nose over it, because that's the nose from their own pattern. And I've seen several people do this. So for one thing, you're putting people under the impression that that is the pattern that you're doing. It's for one of those rabbits. Well, for a start, if the company finds out, they'll make you take it down, because that's not good. For another thing, it isn't actually for that pattern, so why are you advertising that anyway? To get people to buy it, maybe? I don't quite know. It's a bit strange. Because why do that? Because there is more of a chance that you may get into trouble and have to take down your listing, because it's not actually the, you're using one of their bunnies instead of what the pattern actually is, which will not get you into trouble at all because the pattern's different. But if you use a photo of one of their rabbits, you may be more likely to get into trouble. They've done it purely in the hopes that people like me will buy the pattern thinking that's what you're going to get from it, and you just don't. So I decided to make my own, and I've been wanting to do this for a long time. It's just being bothered to search around on eBay for one that's secondhand that I can take apart. And to be honest, the bunny nearly went missing anyway. It was, when I received it, it was 2 weeks late. The box had been smashed. The rabbit was fine. Yeah, it was a bit risky, but there you go. Anyway, that's how you make a plush from a plush. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments. If you want to see more artwork videos, you can click the boxes that come up below. And as always, if you enjoy what I do, feel free to send me a tip on Ko-fi or super thanks. The link is in the description. And that's all for now. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep being awesome. This is Silver signing off.